Hey there, everybody. It's your girl Barbie J here, and we are back with another Tyler Perry comedy drama, Sistas, Season 6, Episode 6, Mending Fences. I'll be honest, I ain't seen nobody mending a fence. Seemed like everybody was falling off the fence and climbing over the fence trying to get away. It just seemed like it was messy. It didn't seem like anything was being brought together. It seemed like everybody was still coming apart, falling apart. Nothing was being mended. Just to say that. And I just want to welcome back all of those of you who have been in my comment section all this time. Welcome back. And if you're new here and haven't subscribed to my channel, please check out this video and then hit the subscribe button and then the notification bell, and it'll let you know every time I upload a new video. Then I ask that you hit the thumbs up button, which is the like button, and write a comment and share if you wish. Okay, so anyway, this episode starts off with Preston and Danny waking up in bed in the morning, and she wants to know why he's in her bed. Then he's telling her what she said to him. Like she said something like she loves him and was sorry about all of this and always wanted to be with him, but was scared of getting her heart broken. And he said that he would have, recorded her. He should have recorded her because he knew she wouldn't believe him. And it was something with whatever she smoked, whatever she was smoking. She was telling everything because they were drinking and smoking, and even Andy was telling everything. Y'all heard last week she told Gary stuff that hurt his damn feelings, but that's what happens. Anyway, then Preston told Danny what they did, and that she made a sex video and tried to upload it to a porn site. And she said she was going to have to call her weed guy, and that she's never going to smoke weed again. And Preston told her that's probably a good idea. Because he also said that he likes when she is like that. And she's like, what, crazy or something? He said, no, straight up and honest. So then he told her that, she licked his butt and she said, you're lying. And he kept it going for a bit, saying that, that guy really rubbed off on her. Remember that guy that she messed with? He called him the butt licker. But anyway, he was saying he probably rubbed off on her, but then he said, that he was only joking, because she was like, you lying. So then she went in the bathroom to drown herself in embarrassment because she was totally embarrassed of, everything that she was doing. Then next we see Andy calling Fatima and leaving her a message about business meeting that they have. And then Karen showed up at her apartment, and told her what happened the night before with Pam and Zach. And what else? She said that she called him because Pam told her to, and he offered her, because he offered to help with the money to rebuild the salon. And Andy did that sound, You know how she does that, and act like it's nothing when we know it's something. So then Karen said that Zach was sweet on the phone like he used to be, and she don't know how long. And then Fatima came home. But she didn't say Fatima. She said then she came home. And then Zach was talking cryptic on the phone, and that he didn't get off, but that's what was happening. And that he's going to meet her in the morning, at the salon today to give her, today to give him the money to rebuild. And I'm like, Zach nor Karen knows how much it's going to cost. So how is he giving her money, or how is she getting money from Zach to rebuild? That made no sense. That really made no sense. You don't know how much it's costing. And then you told Aaron that you thought nobody could get in there. So why are y'all meeting at the salon? Anyway, Andy asked why. Why, Karen? Why are you getting it from him? And she said, because he offered. Andy said, I offered too. And Karen said, well, I want it from him. I said, Andy asked, what is this, Karen? Is Zach the baby's father? And Karen said, I ain't talking about that. I told you until I talked to him. And Andy asked, which him? And then she told Karen that Zach is in love with Fatima and that we've closed this book. And Karen said, you see how he came for me and he didn't even look her way. I said, oh, so you were focused on that? So Karen, not only were everybody else around watching Fatima, but Karen, who's supposed to be dead and just lost her salon, she was watching Fatima too. Come on, Tyler. How's everybody watching Fatima? It makes no sense. Anyway, Andy told Karen some of the stuff she told Gary the night before, that she could remember because some of the details were foggy, she said. And she said that she didn't mean to say those things to him like that. And Karen said, well, he probably needed to hear them. But then Andy did admit that she needed to hear it herself. And Andy added, Karen added, that's what, we've been trying to tell you. So that was their little conversation. Then we're seeing Sabrina finally in a beautiful white outfit. They must have got new person to dress them for the season, because even Karen's dress was cute and Andy was looking professional and her boobs and everything wasn't hanging out. I tell you, everybody was looking wonderful this week. This episode. So even what's her name? Pam had it on fly little outfit. She wasn't nothing short and anything like she would come to work. She was covered up and looking cute. I was like, this is a wonderful episode for the wardrobe. So kudos and congratulations to whoever dressed the ladies this episode, because everybody was on point. So anyway, Sabrina gets this call from Danny, who's in her bathroom at home, and she tells Sabrina that she did something stupid and that she's never going to smoke weed again. And Sabrina tells her that, she's going to have to wait, and hear about it later because she has an appointment with the attorney that Bio got her. So y'all know in the last video I asked, who did she get this attorney from? They didn't even have us see that Andy gave her the attorney, but now we see it was Bio who gave her the attorney. And oh, girl, I had so many red flags was flying and waving in my eyes. I didn't know what to say. It just is scary to me. I don't know. Hopefully it's not a big thing, but we don't know. Anyway, so now we see Fatima leaving for work, and she stops to listen to her voicemail message from Andy. She looks and sees Zach is in bed sleeping. She checks on him and then goes downstairs to leave. And that's when Zach's phone rings, and it's Karen calling him at 7:45 a.m. Why? To have him meet her at a burnt up salon. Really, Karen? Karen is being messy. She's asking Zach, you sure she, meaning Fatima, won't mind? And Zach said, I'm good. I'm positive. I'm like, why are you being messy, Karen? And so Karen is all smiles in her car, asking if he wants her to pick him up something for breakfast. And Zach is like, nah, I'm good and everything. And then Zach, he hangs up and he looks at the time and realizes Fatima not there. And he's calling her name, and he gets upset because Fatima left without saying goodbye and only made up half the bed. And I'm sitting there going, Zach, how can she make up the whole bed if your behind is sleeping in it? You can't make up but half the bed. So to get upset about that was dumb. So he calls her and leaves her a message asking where she's at. So now we have Hayden. Oh, Lord. He walks into Gary's office and telling him that he got a big problem and did something really stupid. And we all knew what it was. So now he's lying to Gary because he's saying that, well, Tamara wanted to go to Miami and then changed her mind and wanted to go to Vegas. And didn't I leave that in one of my reviews, y'all? I said to y'all, I never heard of anybody going to Miami to get married, come back married. Usually they go to Vegas in a Elvis chapel. And that's just what he said. He said they got really effed up and they got married in an Elvis chapel. And I fell out laughing. I said, oh, Lord. And Gary bust out laughing, too, because it was funny. But now Hayden is feeling as if he made a mistake, a big mistake, even though, he likes her a lot. Gary tells him to just get it annulled, but Hayden says he didn't know how to tell her, and Gary brings up the vetting again, and Hayden admits he didn't fully vet her, and Gary asks for her name and social security number. First of all, I bet you he don't even have a social security number. He probably don't know her damn middle name. Anyway, so I'm sorry, y'all, but that's what I'm feeling. Then Gary tells Hayden he don't have time for this, because he don't know how to say this and all this stuff. And he had, I got my own drama to deal with. And Hayden's like, what? With that Andy ish again? Ain't nobody trying to hear that no more, man. And Gary told him, you know what? You can get out and go, and then Hayden apologized and said, okay, tell me. And then, Gary shared what happened, between him and Andy the night before, but he didn't tell all them details for sure. Then we see Sabrina arriving at Calvin and Maurice's apartment, and she tells Calvin that the new furniture they have, she said, "Oh, y'all got new furniture. Looks kind of tacky though." And then Calvin admits that it's his, and Sabrina said, "Oh, it's beautiful, good color sofa." He's like, "That's okay." Anyway, then she goes to get Maurice out of his bedroom, and now we learn why Maurice doesn't want to go to that attorney's office, which I guess I could understand a little bit, but you still need to go. But it's because Bio hired him, and he feels Bio doesn't like him, and he only wants to help Sabrina, and will probably have him locked up. And I can understand him feeling that way, but that's because of you, Maurice, how you act around people and how you don't treat people with respect, you dumb behind. Anyway, so he feels he needs his own attorney, and Calvin asks how he's going to do that with no money, and Maurice started with his stupidness. I'll sell some of your dildos and all of this dumb stuff. Anyway, it's not even funny anymore. I wish Tyler would stop having him do all of that stuff. So Calvin tells Maurice he should, go to at least hear what the attorney has to say, because if he doesn't, if he don't go, he said, if he don't go down there, he'll probably go back to jail. So Sabrina gets fed up and leaves, saying she's going to fight for her freedom. And Maurice replies she needs to fight for that white after Labor Day. Tacky ass or something like that. No, tacky biatch. And I'm like, why did she have to be tacky, and why she got to be a biatch? It's like all of this stuff is not even funny, and Tyler Perry has to realize you need to remove some of this stuff. It's not funny anymore when Maurice acts like that. So then Calvin talks Maurice into going by saying he'll take him to his favorite restaurant if he goes to hear what the attorney has to say. And then he offers to drive him there, because Sabrina left already. Anyway, now we see Andy and Fatima talking in the hallway at the law firm, and Fatima's rushing to get her day started, and Andy tells her to slow down and asks what's going on. And that's when Fatima, Andy looks at her, and Fatima told her that she's not playing these games with her this morning. And then Andy was like, what, acting like she don't know. And then she recalls how Zach ran out and left her yesterday. And Andy asks, what did Zach say? And Fatima told her she didn't talk to him because she needs to calm down and process things before she turns into that biatch. And she explained, and of course, Andy understands. They all know who this biatch she turns into. So she explains that she left the house early so she wouldn't have to talk to Zach. And that's when Andy says, I don't know what good that's going to do because Zach is here. So Fatima's like, oh, shh. So we see Zach walking past the law firm's receptionist, and she's trying to stop him, but he keeps going. He sees him in the hallway. But what I didn't like is Andy telling the receptionist what the proper protocol is when a guest arrives, and then told her, don't let it happen again. And I'm like, Zach was basically bum rushing past the receptionist. So what was she supposed to do, Andy? Maybe call security on Fatima's fiance. Do you think that would have been the best thing for her to do? You saw him push past her, basically. Anyways, Andy intervenes and tells Zach that, they have an important meeting, and he's trying to say, Fatima, you left without speaking to me. And she sends Fatima to get things prepared for their meeting, and Fatima walks away. She's letting Zach know she is at work and this is not the time and place, So then Andy enlightens him about how he made his significant other feel by storming out of the office yesterday to go check on Karen and leaving her sitting there. And Zach is like, she almost died and we all did it. And she keeps reminding him, everybody didn't have a fiance sitting there waiting, and you left them there. The rest of us didn't. So Zach is like, he doesn't get it. And he says, he wasn't trying to make her feel any kind of way or something like that. And Andy said, but you did. So now what? And she tells him to give Fatima some time because he knows how she gets. And he tells her that he was coming to tell Fatima that he was going to meet up with Karen. And Andy asks, why is he doing that? And she asked him, does he even hear himself speaking? He asked her to tell Fatima for him. And Andy asked Zach, why is he going to help? And suggested that he stop trying to help. Then Zach asked if Fatima talked to her about his son. Andy said no, she didn't, and just walked away. I said, oh, And Zach was like, dang it, like he was mad and stuff. Anyway, Andy walks into her office and Fatima asks if Zach is gone, and she says yes. Then Fatima says he's on his way to Karen's salon and that she heard him talking to her earlier when she was leaving. But that's when I felt Andy should have told her that that's why Zach was here, to let her know, and he asked me to tell you. But she didn't say that. I don't know why. Anyway, Andy says they can be talking, you don't know what they could be talking about. He could be talking about helping her. And then Fatima says she knows Zach's I'm in love voice and his I'm angry voice and his I want to have sex voice. And this morning talking to Karen was his I'm in love voice. And Andy was like, oh, okay. So what are you gonna do? She's asking her, and Fatima asks, takes off her ring and asks Andy to hold on to it for her, and said that she didn't want to leave it around the office. And so Andy puts it in a box on her desk, saying that was a safe place. And I'm sitting there going, really? On your desk? I said, I think if she had placed that box into her drawer after doing that, then it would have been in a safer place. That's an expensive ring, but that's on Fatima. You could have put it in your pocketbook. You could have put it anyway. You didn't have to give it to Andy. That was stupid. And then watch her put it right on her desk. Anyway, the cleaner lady or somebody going to steal it, take it. It's going to fall over in the box. Something's going to happen. So Sabrina shows up at the attorney's office. I think his name was Michael Smith. I think he said Michael Smith. And he asked where Maurice was, and she said he probably won't make it. And at that moment, Maurice comes in with Calvin, talk about Maurice Webb here, and he shows up, and Maurice starts with the foul language, asking the attorney if he only has 2 seats in this biatch, and I'm just like, really, Maurice? And he's being rude towards that attorney, saying his office is tacky, and it's really not, and I don't think it's really cute the way he's behaving. And the attorney is looking at him strangely, and then he mentions Quincy's name, of course, and Maurice yells out, that biatch, and he mentions it again, and he called him a biatch again, and Sabrina and Calvin are telling him to stop. And to me, he's using way too much profanity, and the attorney asked him to refrain from using it. And Sabrina and Calvin, they're dumb behinds and just apologizing. Oh, we sorry. He didn't mean it. He's sorry. We're sorry. I was like, stop it already. Stop it with him. And so the attorney talks about how Q is not a very reliable witness due to his lengthy police record. They don't have a strong a strong case. And then the attorney states that Quincy isn't their biggest hurdle they need to get over. And he says this is, and he plays the tape with Maurice's voice on it, stating that he was the mastermind behind him and his Q and his dumbass friends robbing the bank. And Maurice says it was a joke. And Sabrina and Calvin are like, damn, Maurice, like, really? And the attorney said it doesn't seem that way to him, that it's a joke, and that a jury may not have his sense of humor. So the attorney says he's going to move to have the case dismissed, but it probably won't happen because the DA wants this case. So he said the best case scenario is the case gets kicked out of court. Then Sabrina asks, well, what is the worst case scenario? And the attorney tells them that they both go to jail for 15 years. And Maurice gasps real loud, like, all of that. And Sabrina's like, are you kidding? And he replies, I wish I were. And then she looks at Maurice like she could kill him. Because it's all his fault. This is all his fault. If nothing else, this should be a wake-up call for her about him. But it won't. It won't. So now it ends with Karen outside of her burnt up freaking salon. And she's talking to these 2 girls saying she don't know when they're going to be back open. You see, there was a fire or whatever. So all of a sudden, Pam comes up behind her with this cute little outfit on. I told you they were all working their outfits this episode. And Karen asked, what are you doing here? And Pam said, well, I came to see how bad it was. And at this point, I clearly could see that Karen didn't want her to be there. She wanted it to be just her and Zach standing there at that salon. And then she starts in on Pam saying, I wish you came this early when we were open. And Pam said, oh, well, look who's back from the dead reading. I said, oh, go ahead, Pam. Pam's so funny. And that's when Aaron comes from behind the salon with a hazmat suit on, and Pam asks, what is he doing here? When Karen turned around to see Aaron, she said, what are you doing here? He's like, I was cleaning up. And she's like, I thought nobody could get in there. He said, oh, I don't care about that. I want to help. And he asked, like, what, you don't want me here? And Pam said, hell yeah, she wants you here. And anyone else that'll help with her no insurance having self. I said, oh, Pam just gonna rub it in. But then for some reason, stupid Aaron gonna try to get in a dig at Pam. And I have no idea why. Talking about, like, is she going to help? She don't look like she dressed to help. First of all, ain't none of them came dressed to help because they didn't think they could get in, dummy. So that made no sense why you trying to get a dig in. And Pam came back with oh no, I tell people what to do. I direct. I don't do that. I said, go ahead, Pam. Then Pam told Karen, she could at least tell Aaron thank you. And Karen, I was laughing because it's like she's her mother now. So Karen says, thank you. And then she asks, how bad is it? And states that she wants to see it. And Aaron is concerned about her going inside due to the chemicals and her being pregnant. So he tells her, that she can stand by the side door to look inside. And that's when Zach drives up and Pam goes, oh, ish. So that's why you don't want him here. And Pam, Karen turned around like, Pam. And Pam goes, hey, Zach. When Zach walks up, he says, hey, Pam, good work or something like that. I don't know. I think he blaming her for the fire or something like that. Good job. I don't know. Anyway, Zach walks up and Aaron says, what's up, Zach? And Zach says, nice suit, Aaron. He looks him up and down and says, nice suit, Aaron. Then they get into a little something back and forth. And then Karen asks Aaron to excuse them for a second. And Pam, when he walked away, Pam said, ooh, he's mad. Then Karen tells Pam, go inside. So, so she and Zach can basically be alone outside. And then she was talking to Zach and I haven't been in there and I thank you for this. And Zach is the first one to put his hands on her and grab her arms to get close to her. And then, she kissed him on the cheek. Thank God it was on the cheek. Everybody saw it. But when that happened, Zach saw that Fatima was in the parking lot in her car and she saw the kiss as well. And I said, uh-oh, here we go, y'all. So like I said, I ain't see no fences being mended. But if somebody saw it, y'all can let me know down in the comment section. Please let a sister know. All right. So this your girl, Barbie J, saying, this episode was all right, but I thought it was going to be more exciting. They made the previews and the trailer look like it's going to be something. And even next week's trailer doesn't look like it's going to be nothing much in either. So anyway, y'all put it down in the comment section how y'all felt about this episode. And I will see you guys in the next video. It's your girl, Barbie J, saying, please don't forget to subscribe. Peace.